Hello and welcome to all. Antoine Griezmann, or the Little Prince as his fans like to call him, is known as one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. This young Frenchman, 30 years old, combines exceptional speed on the field with highly developed technical skills and a real instinct for scoring goals. The enfant terrible of Athletico de Madrid is an accomplished and extremely versatile player, and his personal record of achievement can easily attest to his footballing superiority. Antoine Griezmann has nothing left to prove, and his sporting success is matched only by his financial success, given the millions of euros that make up his fortune. His salaries and emoluments of fabulous amounts, as well as his juicy advertising contracts, have indeed allowed the young French footballer to build up a fortune equal to his exploits. With such a nest egg, Griezmann can probably wade in luxury and abundance, and that's exactly what he does. So make yourself comfortable, because today we're going to find out exactly how this footballer, richer than Croesus, spends his millions. And you'll see that the Little Prince is not idle. Let's get started. But before we tell you more about Griezmann's bundles of greenbacks and bank accounts, we're going to take a look at his background, so that we can get to know him better. Antoine Griezmann was born on March the 21st, 1991, in the town of Macon, in the French department of Saône-et-Loire. His father, Alain, a soccer coach, came from a family from Münster, Germany, while his mother, Isabel, was of Portuguese origin and daughter of a former great soccer player. The little Griezmann grew up in a multicultural and benevolent family, which values soccer above all with a capital S. The young boy was quickly caught up in the whirlwind of soccer, which led him to his first matches at a very early age. Griezmann, who seems to have been born with the ball on his feet, shows an undeniable talent even though he is only 3 inches tall. At the age of 6, his family enrolled him in the local club, UF Macon, where he began training and played for about 7 years. During this period, Griezmann showed an undeniable know-how, but he did not manage to break through, mainly because of his frail and puny build. However, the Wheel of Fortune will eventually turn in his favor in 2005, while he was on trial with Montpellier. The 14-year-old teenager had indeed shown incredible performances during a friendly match against the youth academy of Paris Saint-Germain in Paris. His style of play and his dazzling breakthroughs left almost stunned the scouts of the big European clubs who had attended this event. Among them were some scouts from Real Sociedad who didn't want to return to Spain without Griezmann. The young boy arrived in the Basque country with the firm intention to develop his abilities and, of course, to shine by his results. But it will take a few more years before he will be in the first team of Real Sociedad, because his apprenticeship and his schooling were still in progress. Antoine Griezmann will finally be called to the rescue by his team in 2009, following the injuries of several starters. Even before the season started, he managed to score 5 goals in 4 appearances, and his fast and attacking style of play literally captivated everyone. The young Frenchman shone brightly during the 2009 season and those that followed, leading Real Sociedad to the consecration in Spain. An excellent dribbler and an outstanding goal scorer, Griezmann is also a very good reader of the game, capable of elaborating excellent strategies and of delivering decisive passes. Real Sociedad was very proud of their young Frenchman and did not want to get rid of him in the least, but the transfer market and its colossal turnover was going to pass by, and Griezmann, because of his footballing value, attracted a lot of covetousness. Thus, on July the 27th, 2014, Antoine Griezmann joined the colors of Athletico de Madrid, which paid the staggering sum of 30 million euros to acquire him. His contract with the Spanish champion and title runs for 6 years, and he will keep his mythical number 7. A very symbolic number for the footballers, but not only. And we can definitely say that the number 7 brought him luck, since his very first beginnings with the second club of Madrid went incredibly well. The Little Prince indeed made good performances, showing from the start amazing achievements in Spanish La Liga. After 5 years with the Colchoneros, Antoine Griezmann's record and his footballing achievements were enough to make his daddy's coach proud, and of course, the countless Athletico de Madrid fans. However, the latter did not want to hear about the transfer of the young Frenchman, whom Manchester United had already put in their sights. This opinion was also shared by the club's leaders, who did not want to lose their gem either, even if it meant increasing the amount of his release clause considerably. This one had indeed increased to 120 million euros, which should in principle discourage most of the clubs of the place and guarantee to Atletico to keep its young colt in its stables. However, this huge sum did not discourage Football Club Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and for whom 120 million euros was a pittance. The Catalan club will finally sign Antoine Griezmann on July the 11th, 2019, a real consecration for the little prince, who has always seen everything in a big way. But if the young Frenchman striker was over the moon with this transfer, which propelled him to the next level of his professional career, it was quite different with the Atletico fans. The latter were so upset with Griezmann that they even defaced the commemorative plaque with his name, which was outside the Wanda Metropolitano. But despite the harshest criticism, Antoine Griezmann quickly found his place among the Barcelona stars and became one of the club's star strikers. With Messi and Suarez as teammates, the little prince caused sparks, and the offensive line of the Blaugrana became literally impossible to counter. The consecration of the young French footballer has only been equaled by his financial success. Because of course, who says Barcelona says huge salaries and juicy advertising contracts. And we can definitely say that Antoine Griezmann has hit the jackpot with a Catalan club, since he would have received an average salary of 21 million euros per season, a pharaonic salary to which we should of course add the various bonuses that will be paid to him by Football Club Barcelona. The little prince will also add a few millions to his bank account, thanks to the income generated by his sponsorship contracts, especially with his equipment manufacturer Puma, which would bring him between 3 and 4 million euros gross each season. The young Frenchman has also lent his image to other famous and generous sponsors, such as the brand Gillette, Huawei, or Head & Shoulder, which ensure him a constant and consistent income of big greenbacks. And as if that wasn't enough, Antoine Griezmann can also count on his stallions to earn more money, because in case you didn't know, he owns a stable of racehorses in his own name. So, it is estimated that the total fortune of the little prince would amount to some 40 million euros and change, but these figures are still from the end of 2020. Griezmann must have earned even more in the last 2 years, despite the economic crisis of COVID-19. And as he is not ready to hang up his boots, we can say that he still has a few years to make his nice money grow. At the head of such a fortune, one can only fantasize about the princely lifestyle that the little prince must lead, and the luxury and splendor that make up his daily life. We can already imagine the beautiful cars he must drive, and the superb house where he must live with his little family. But for once, reality is far beyond our imagination, because even if the young Frenchman is really not a big spender and that he does not throw money out of the window, it must be said that Griezmann does not deny himself anything. And as a prince, however small, needs a beautiful palace to establish his apartments. Griezmann's Madrid residence is a real palace. Located in the posh region of La Finca, where many of his teammates and Real Madrid players have settled. Griezmann's house has been estimated at some 6 million euros net. Inside this splendid architectural monument, the French player has a small soccer field to practice at home in peace, but also a nice basketball playground, the second ball sport he loves the most after soccer. And since the little prince is also a big fan of swimming, he has a very large swimming pool that allows him to take a dip whenever he wants. And after enjoying the joys of swimming, the young attacking midfielder can then enjoy a good sunbath this time, thanks to his natural solarium. Antoine Griezmann's beautiful villa is indeed flooded with a soft Mediterranean sun rays, thanks to its architecture and the huge windows that constitute its facades. Inside, the decoration is rather sober but very elegant, and one can hardly imagine the print of the furniture because luxury and splendor are omnipresent. Signed furniture, precious leather, giant TV screens, and the latest electronic devices. Everything is luxury and refinement. Antoine Griezmann is a virtuoso in soccer as well as in interior design and furniture arrangement. But there's another field in which the young striker stands out, the gleaming world of beautiful machines. Antoine Griezmann is indeed a great lover of exceptional cars, and the garage of his house is full of four-wheeled treasures. To be the fastest on the field, the young Frenchman can count on his sprinter's feet. But on the road, Griezmann prefers to drive a McLaren 675 LT. The sumptuous car, of which there are only about 50 in the world, goes from 0 to 100 kilometers in less than 3 seconds and has a top speed of over 330 kilometers per hour. Amazing performances worthy of a Formula 1 car, and which make this McLaren a real ground rocket. But this is not the only exceptional car that Griezmann owns, because we also find in his garage some models just as luxurious. Thus, apart from a banal BMW Z4 and a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, and since he also loves good old American muscle cars, the young French footballer also has a superb 1969 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray in his prestigious personal collection. Antoine Griezmann spends a lot of money to acquire these beautiful cars, but also for their maintenance. The young striker doesn't skimp on expenses either when it comes to treating himself to a luxury watch. Indeed, Griezmann wears on his wrist a superb Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona, a model an 18-karat pink gold set with 56 diamonds and 36 sapphires in the colors of the rainbow. A Swiss watch of exception, and which costs the small trifle of 88,750 euros. But when you love, you don't count, as the saying goes. And the terrible boy of the Athletico of Madrid is indeed a true passionate of luxury watchmaking. Antoine Griezmann is a young sportsman full of money, who has real soccer talent, but who also knows how to enjoy the sweetness of life. And with his well-stocked bank account, the young Frenchman does not deprive himself of anything, as well as his family that he has forever protected from need. And that's it for today. What do you think of the incredible career of the young genius of French soccer, the inimitable Antoine Griezmann? And how did you find the lavish daily life of this young athlete who became richer than Croesus? Tell us in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to put a like and subscribe and activate the notifications. See you soon for new discoveries out of the ordinary.